My boyfriend Ruben and I love traveling. So, with our hearts set on Utah's vast expanse of red rock, towering canyons, and bright green valleys, we made our dream a reality. Little did we know, our dream trip would be presenting us with an experience that would have us fearing for our lives in a way we wouldn't have thought possible when we flew out of Fort Lauderdale. But we'll save that part for later. So, in March 2017, we spent 5 days exploring the desert expanse of the southern United States, visiting incredible landmarks like Horseshoe Bend, Monument Valley, and Arches National Park as we navigated across the historic Navajo Nation. The last 2 days of our trip was the jewel of our adventure, Zion National Park. We decided to tackle the infamous Angel's Landing Trail, otherwise nicknamed the scariest hike in America. With the promising view waiting for us, we began the 2.5-mile trek up the trail. It wasn't easy. There were sharp drop-offs and steep switchbacks as we climbed, not to mention chains that were drilled into the mountain to grab onto as we ascended so we wouldn't lose our balance and fall to a certain death. We didn't notice the dark gray clouds that rolled over the park because suddenly we were at the top. We completed the scariest hike in America. As we took pictures at the place I had been dreaming of for a year, wind began to blow and raindrops started to fall. A sudden fear took hold as the trail and the chain drilled in for our safety became wet and slippery. We were suddenly faced with descending down a path where one misstep could lead to us careening to our deaths thousands of feet below. It would be dark soon. The only safe thing to do was to sit on our bottoms, hold on to the chain, and carefully slide down. The path became increasingly slippery and narrow as we descended, and raindrops continued to wet the smooth stone. Every time I dared to glance up from the path, I looked into a looming gray mass of clouds and mist that settled around us on the mountain, reminding us that we were hostages to the environment. Every moment was intense and time seemed to stop, but finally we reached the end of the trail. I can't remember ever being so happy to be firmly on the ground. That night at the hotel, I remember Ruben and I feeling so thankful for being safe and warm. While it was definitely the scariest time of my life, I left Utah feeling accomplished. I arrived with my heart set on completing the Angel's Landing Trail, and although it was frightening beyond anything I've ever experienced before, I'm so glad I did not turn back. I didn't travel that far to fail. We battled the elements indeed, but we ultimately let our spirit for courage and adventure guide us back down the trail. This trip left me valuing the experience of travel, adventure, and my very existence.